They're the worst.
They're the worst.
Hello and welcome to episode 15 of Reboot or Deboot. As always, I am Noah Davis.
I'm John Peanut.
And
I can say my name.
What was that?
What?
What was that?
And I can say my name?
Oh, well, I can't, so that's too bad. And today we are talking about the 1947 film The Bishop's Wife. I Can't Talk Today, directed by Henry Coster and written by a group of people. There were 4 or 5 screenwriters, so I'm just not, I don't know, look it up. Okay, big picture.
Well, also special holiday edition. Did we say that?
Oh, yeah, I forgot we... If you listened to last episode, we said we were going to watch a different movie, and we changed it because Christmas, yada, yada, Christmas special, episode 15.
Yeah, get your Christmas hats on. It's about to get really boring for the next hour while we talk about this boring movie.
Yuletide prattling.
I think fine. You know, I was pleasantly surprised. It didn't have as many of the 40s problems as I would anticipate, but it did seem like I've watched it before, even though I've never watched it.
Yes, I think, well, very specifically, for anyone who hasn't seen this movie, there are some similarities to a classic Christmas movie called It's a Wonderful Life. And yeah, it feels kind of not generic. I don't think generic's the right word, but I think this path has been tread on before, you know. And yeah, it was a fine movie, totally fine movie.
Yeah, and also, I mean, Cary Grant can do no wrong. He's a good actor.
He's got a face, doesn't he? He's just got that face. That it's just you gotta watch it. He's just got that face. Specific positives. You want me to start?
Yeah, you go.
Okay, I will say that I liked the script, and I think it was nice and subtle. I don't think there was anything overbearing, especially near the beginning, where we were literally only getting clues of the world we were in through dialogue when he was trying to figure out, what's the deal with the wife and such. When we meet the professor and everything, I mean, we don't get a distinct introduction. It's just through conversation that we have these. He pretends to be, from Vienna, and the professor's kind of bumbling a little bit because he's kind of convinced or, not gullible, but he's easily swayed. And we just, I don't know, it has a nice world that feels lived in. Obviously, it's the real world, so who cares? But, and it also doesn't just beat your head in with, oh yeah, he's an angel. We didn't need all this exposition or anything explaining his system or anything like that, which is nice.
That's fair. I would agree. I think the script's fine. I think the acting's pretty good, but my first and major big specific is, or good specific, positive specific, whatever. The side characters in this are very well done. Like, I do think the whatever her name is, Julia, and Cary Grant's character Dudley or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, Dudley.
They do a bulk of the lifting, the carrying of the plot forward, the chemistry, the whole thing. They're doing it, and they do it well. I think because the expectation is that he's going to be so good, Cary Grant, I expect him to be good. And so anytime he doesn't deliver very, very strong performances, I go, oh, maybe this isn't going to be good. But the that professor, the sort of chubby, brooding socialist professor kind of guy, not only served as a good comedic relief, but was just interesting. And I think that happened every time we got one of these new people, like the mean evil church lady and the cab driver. There are all these other little side character one-off things. They were good.
Yeah, they're very memorable in their own right without having to actually change the plot completely. I think you're totally right. What was it? Was it who's the taxi driver? Leonard or something?
Leonard sounds right, but again, don't hold me to that.
Yeah,
Steve. No, wait, Stevens was the butler.
It doesn't matter, but you're right. Yeah, the side character work. I think it's honestly
Sylvester.
Sylvester. Why does that sound right too?
It doesn't matter. Someone's
Yeah,
name.
no, I think the character work, or at least what you said, the side character work. I think it almost reminds me of the original Star is Born, where the side characters were half the fun. I think you're totally right. Especially even though I kind of have my problems with it, I'll get into that in a bit. The ice skating scene, just having the cab driver there gave it this great levity where nothing, obviously this movie's not a drama, but it just had this kind of great guffaw, if you will, it almost slapstick in a way, or not in a way, I think it was slapstick. But yeah, and I think that kind of segues into my other positive is that I like it because it's funny, not a lot of Christmas movies, they have this weird sense of humor. It's almost over the top constantly, whatever Christmas movie. I mean, National Lampoon Christmas movie, even The Grinch. There's this almost over the top humor, whereas this is a very subdued, kind of quaint humor.
I would agree with that.
I also, the special effects, I actually think were pretty fucking good.
Yeah, that was my next positive. Totally agree. The Christmas tree decorating
Mm-hmm.
thing,
The note
the
cards.
yep, the note cards sort of sorting themselves, or
Mm-hmm.
the whatever letters, I forget what it was, but
Index
whatever thing
cards,
he was
maybe.
sorting. Yeah. Um, I mean, pretty fucking awesome. I'm actually confused what they did to make it do that. Like
I
for
don't
the
know.
Christmas tree, it just looked like they like overlaid a film of stuff moving, like shots of, I guess, if you
I
have the frame of a
think
film and you overlay them on top of each other, it looks like something superimposed over something else. That's my suspicion of how they did it, but
uh-huh.
cool.
I assume that the letters were the same way. I assume it was like a little drawing of a letter, maybe painted on a clear plastic film. Then it's filmed over the film, you know, and then boom, you got your special effects. Because that's how like Disney used to do it with Pete's Dragon and such.
Right. Or what's
So
that cartoon movie that everyone loves? Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
yeah, I don't know if that's
They
how
like
they did it though. Is that how they did it?
I thought so. I thought they hand drew the cartoons on the film.
Oh. Well then sure. Like Who Framed Roger exactly like that. Good point. But I don't have a ton more positives just because I don't think the negatives outweighed these positives. There's just not a huge, even when it came to costuming and set pieces, they were adequate, totally adequate, not bad at all. I don't know. There's nothing of note to really talk, or not a ton to really talk about right now. Um, yeah. You do you have any more specifics?
Let me look at my list. Uh, not no, not really. I think you hit them. I think the
Because
special effects were cool. I think the writing was good. I think the acting was good. Nothing really
yeah,
else to say.
and I'll even go over the adequate stuff, such as the direction. Totally fine, but it didn't
Yeah.
go anything outside the realm of 1947, movie. And like you said, the acting from the main cast it's good. I mean, Cary Grant, I mean, hard to top. But yeah, there's just nothing that makes this movie stand out. And that might be its biggest issue. Negatives, unless you have any more positive.
Nope. I think biggest negative for me is like the why of it. Like
Mm-hmm.
the pacing's fine. The how they get from point A to point B to point C, fine. The character's great, but why is the angel trying to fuck the wife?
I'm also of the school of thought. I didn't really know what you meant until you just explained a bit, but yeah, I don't quite understand why an angel would even pretend to want to just steal the wife, basically. I get it when he did like the advance to her so that she would hate him or whatever. But if everyone's memory is gonna go away, what I
Right, then it must
Yeah.
have been for him, and then why?
Yeah, so he wanted her to hate him just so that he could erase her memory of him. I don't.
Well, no, because even towards the end, right? Like, there's the whole dialogue between him and the bishop that's like,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
that
you're a
too.
lucky son of a bitch. I wish I could give her a smooch, so you're gonna have to give her a smooch for me. When we angels fall in love with humans, it's a bad omen, or whatever the fuck he said. You know, you're like, wait a second, what? Was that
Yeah,
the plot?
because the movie you're thinking, am I just watching a guy get cucked by an angel? But then, as you just said, that dialogue kind of confirms that yes, that's exactly what you've been watching this entire time. And my biggest negative, my absolute biggest negative, I bet you it's maybe everyone's biggest negative when they watch this movie, is that the similarities to It's a Wonderful Life are weird, if not on the nose. They don't do any of the fantasy shit that It's a Wonderful Life does, but they still have. I mean, do you know the plot of It's a Wonderful Life, John?
No, I mean, I assume it's similar, but
It's
I have no clue.
literally about a banker who is going to kill himself, and then an angel comes in and stops him and then helps him along the way. That's
Interesting.
that's the easiest, simplest explanation of it. But yeah, an angel who stops in along the way to, but this angel in It's a Wonderful Life has actual like mythos, and you kind of get a sense of the actual angel, whereas Dudley just kind of comes in, cucks the bishop, and then leaves. There's no kind of why, as you said earlier, there's no why or there's no reason to it. He's just kind of doing it because I guess the bishop prayed, so that's enough. I'll also say
Right.
that even if the plot were not at least similar, the boy in the snowball fight is plays the young version of the main guy in It's a Wonderful Life.
No
And
way.
and their daughter is literally George's daughter, the main character's daughter, and It's a Wonderful Life. So even if
And like,
you,
you fact check these?
yeah, oh, bro, I knew for a fact. I didn't even need to. I just wrote it down because I literally didn't need to. I know those two kids. I know that movie, especially the kid at the snowball fight. I would die. Like, I would die on that hill. That is the same exact kid because he's actually a pretty good actor. Um, but yeah, so even if you ignore the plot similarities, there's stuff just to kind of remind you of it. And that's my biggest negative, is because it's not the exact same plot, of course, but it feels as though it's a pale imitation of said plot. Um, Kind of a poor man's Christmas Carol in a way. Now, that's not to say the movie's bad. It's just when it had things before it, when there were precursors literally a year before it, it makes it a little rough on my end. Any more negatives? I got a couple more.
No. Fortunately, no more negatives for me. Again, I thought it was a fine movie. There's not too many big bad things, but
These next few aren't crazy. I will say it kind of drags near the end. I think it kind of lost some of its steam, especially due to the ice skating scene, which by itself I enjoy. It's funny, it's nice, but it's a lot of the runtime. Just fractionally, it's a lot of the runtime. I mean, that skating scene took forever to finish, and it just kind of comes out of nowhere. Again, the scene is funny and such, and of course, gives you more insight into Dudley and Julia and all that shit. But it just, I don't know, it kind of derails any sort of momentum the movie has. And then my last one is that the morals of the movie are kind of beat over the head. They just beat you with it constantly. The whole uh
be a
the
good person.
yeah, or the evil cathedral lady, who also stars in my favorite episode of Twilight Zone. But the evil cathedral lady, it's just constant, or she just changes her mind. No, she's given to the poor, and it's just, I get it, I totally get it. It's probably hard to do a Christmas movie subtly, but at the same time, I don't know. It's just kind of, it's on the nose. It's on the nose. Whereas as subtle as their character work was, it feels as though the motivation of the plot is not subtle in any way, shape, or form. But any more notes?
Um, no personal notes for me and no et ceteras, just the normal things that I keep for the wiki and the letterbox.
I do have a few, etc. One, I enjoyed how the professor was secular, but then got converted in the end, I guess. So I guess it's not that great, but still at the same time. Or, going back to the on the nose morals and stuff. Um, yeah, just the on the nose morals stuff where the secular professor, I guess, gets converted, starts going to church again.
Yeah.
I mean,
His heathenism has been revoked.
yeah, I enjoyed that he was secular. It's nice to acknowledge that not everyone's going to celebrate Christmas like you do. That's great. That's perfect. And then, oh wait, no, he's converted.
Well, see, I
Uh,
kind of thought his whole character was like a comment on secularism and, his whole, again, it's sort of a uh, tropey type character, I'm sure, especially of the time. But, there's weird academics who are very secular and not God fearing, hard working people. And his whole life has been dedicated to writing a book. He's never even started writing. Like he's really just like a useless piece of garbage. And now that he's found God and the angels have helped him, he now has purpose and can start writing this book. I was like, the whole thing kind of feels not subtle religious propaganda.
That's what I'm saying. At first, I enjoyed the acknowledgement of a secular, and then it just kind of, became the message again, as if we didn't need the message, or as if we needed the message more. It's just, I don't know. Also, random, etc. Julia's hat replacement, such a downgrade.
Terrible.
Such a downgrade.
Agreed.
Context for the movie, if you're not going to watch, she is looking at this hat for half the movie and wants to buy it, and it's the ugliest damn hat you've ever seen in your life. Meanwhile, the poor hat she's wearing currently or at the time, looks awesome, looks great on her. But she chooses to just kind of waste money on this ugly hat. Just such a downgrade. um Let's see. The young George, blah, 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 blah. Oh, the skating doubles. Those are funny.
Yeah, those are not good. But 40s, you can't do much.
I get it. It's just very funny because all three of them shrink. Especially Cary Grant. He shrinks. Because of course they use a skating professional to ice skate for them. But Cary Grant goes from this kind of bigger dude to just this little small figure skater dude who's probably wearing a wig or got his eyebrows painted or whatever. Well, I just thought that was hilarious. And and Julia's just too hot, bro. What's that about?
Yeah, yeah. Like, why would she be with this little cuck? It
Yeah,
didn't make any
the
sense.
bishop, you know what, that actually might be a negative. The bishop seemed like he sucked.
Yeah, not only did he suck as a person, and he wasn't very attractive, so he had like sort of both things going for him. Like, why did he get the bishop hood? Clearly, be a puppet for the rich lady. Okay, well, why is he with the hot chick? Because he used to be cool, and now he's a cuck. Like, just a bunch of weirdness. But also, he was like, of all the people, he was the most like actor's actor, like
Yeah.
very sort of theatrical in everything he did. And I was like, he's giving like very, effeminate vibes, and not that they couldn't be more progressive than I'm imagining they were in 47, but for whichever type of Episcopalian or Protestant off beating thing where they do the Catholic thing with allowing marriage, like it's just an interesting choice of a person, like for him to play that way.
It also, again, I think it goes back to your big and first negative, the why. Why why does the bishop suck? And does did the directors or the creators, did they just want us to hope that the angel just fucking took the wife? You give us this like you said, kind of a effeminate, stoic, acting dude, kind of not emotionless, but less emotion. And then you got Cary Grant. Am I supposed to be rooting for this bishop at all? Or, what? Why did they do that? Why would you not make the bishop this super relatable and maybe not maybe not average Joe, but you know what I'm saying? Make it this kind of underdog story, and instead he just kind of sucked the whole time. So I don't really get that. But I think last one. The opening when the professor's buying the tree.
Mm-hmm.
The 10 cents a branch thing. What branches were they counting? I
The
don't
big ones.
know. But no matter what number they got, it was not either number they said. So I was thoroughly confused. The guy behind the counter just says, oh, $1.10 or whatever, and there is more than 11 branches.
Well, I thought. I mean, I hear you. I thought they were saying like, oh, they reenact that thing every time. So I thought he was really like it's just like a kind of a skit and not like a.
I think it was to the professor. It seemed like the shopkeeper was more like, okay, we're
Uh,
doing this again.
I have no idea.
Yeah, but that's the last etc. You want to do your thing?
Yeah, sure. So box office, tough because the one that's reported here is from an old variety. It includes rentals. So it says 3 million, but we don't really have a good estimate of what it costs. But my suspicion is it's not very good because in the reception piece of it, or excuse me, in the release piece of it on the wiki, it says that it didn't do very well until it was sort of re-released under a different name. So that's where we're going to focus our time here. So there's a bunch of production problems. Early previews, people thought it was like weird and all over the place. So that's where those like two extra guys came in and did like these uncredited rewrites. Then it premiered, titled by the bishop's wife. Critics thought it was great, but people didn't show up to go watch it. And basically, it's because they thought it was a religious movie.
I
And
mean,
not that it isn't a religious movie, but it clearly has a religious plot without being like, a church sponsored movie. And so then they retitle it Carrie and the Bishop's Wife, and
what?
then add a um, black text that says like, "Have you heard about Carrie and the Bishop's Wife?"
What the hell? What?
If they kept the original title, so like the ones that you can see like online, all have this thing that are, "Have you heard about Carrie and the Bishop's Wife?"
That's so weird to use the actor's name like that.
Yeah, but then they boasted like a 25% increase in ticket sales.
That's crazy. That'd be like re-releasing, World War Z under Brad and zombies.
Yeah,
Like,
but it kind of would be sick though.
I guess so. That's super weird. What's funny is that It's a Wonderful Life also bombed at the theaters, and critics, were kind of middling on it. So I don't know what it is about old Christmas movies.
Yeah, but again, I think like always, the Academy Awards have no idea what they're doing, and back then there was just not enough movies to grant them. So it got nominated for like everything: motion picture, director, editing,
Crazy. That's
scoring,
so
sound
weird.
recording, and it won best sound recording. And I was trying to think, what about this thing's sound design could have been good that shouldn't have gone for like special effects or something.
Maybe, well, one, maybe they didn't have a special effects award. And two, I will say, of all the old movies audio, this one was actually pretty crisp when I think about it.
Yeah, I mean, when I think about it too, but like not having flaws is crazy to win the best. Like there was no cool sound things that they did in this that I can think of.
Let's pull up the list. Let's get them all. Let's see how it sounds compared to every other nominee.
Um, yeah, maybe another time. And then my last thing from the wiki. Where was it? Where was it? Where was it? Oh, it was just about his name is Sylvester. I was like, why did I have this guy pulled up?
Okay.
The
Okay.
cab is Sylvester. Um, that's all for the wiki. Cool for Letterbox.
Well, yeah, let's go letterbox. But I love how the three names I remember from this movie are Dudley, Julia, and Queenie the dog.
For you. All right. So in sequential order, or wait, sequential in rising order from lowest to highest reviews. Half star from Marina, and they say, so someone saw It's a Wonderful Life and went, okay, but what if the angel was trying his absolute hardest to fuck Jimmy Stewart's wife the whole time?
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess you're not the only one who thinks that. 2.5 stars by Ely. A woman describes meeting Cary Grant as the greatest sexual experience of my life, and by God, if that ain't a mood. Laura Parker, 3 stars. There is such a great dog in this. The biggest, fluffiest St. Bernard lumbering around. He was the best.
Hell yeah, Queenie. Go Queenie. Shout out to Queenie, whoever that
Shout
actor
out
was.
to Queenie. Patrick Williams, a guy that we see frequently on some of these old movies. 3.5 stars. Definitely in the top 5 movies about angels coming to Earth at Christmas and helping kids with snowball fights.
For sure.
And I definitely agree. Jade, 4 stars. You versus the angel she tells you not to worry about.
Nice. Modern meme. Nice.
Mm-hmm. And then now we have a controversial one because I'm not sure I agree with this take. 4.5 stars by Drusilla. The horniest, most socialist religious movie ever.
That, I'll tell you straight up, that is It's a Wonderful Life without the horniness. I think they might have seen both movies and just fused that in their brain. But the most socialist Christmas movie, that's definitely It's a Wonderful Life. By far.
Like, this isn't that horny, though there is that, will they, won't they of the not.
It's pretty horny for a 47 Christmas movie. It's pretty horny.
But they don't even smooch. They don't even smooch. You've seen smooches in other 40s movies.
It's pretty horny. Wait, smooches in 40s movie? You mean open mouth, gape to gape?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, no, but It's a Wonderful Life is basically just anti-capitalism, anti-banking. It's great.
Oh, fuck yeah. And then last but not least, our 5-star review, quote, be nice to your wife, otherwise Cary Grant's gonna fuck her, is the greatest plot line ever conceived. By Clarice.
Yeah, man, this is, again, makes me wonder, why did they write this? Maybe not the why did the angel want to fuck the wife, or why did the angel come down? Why did they write this? What's being conveyed here? Am I supposed to be more Catholic after watching this?
Well, the problem is they're not even Catholic, right? Like, you can't be married and be a bishop.
Oh, can Catholic?
A bishop is just a priest.
Oh.
That's why I was saying it's got to be some Episcopalian thing where they basically go, we're basically Catholic, except we can marry people.
You can't at all? There's no Catholic sect?
No, there's no priests that... There's no sects in Catholicism in that sense.
Right, that's the whole point. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Like, there are those, like, people who wear those weird little chastity belts and whip each other, like in Da Vinci Code, but...
Self-flagellation, those are all just, like, baby.
Right, like weird brothers and, followers, and not like the actual practitioners, like the priests and the bishops and the cardinals. And
yeah, then this is extra weird. Am I supposed to be more Christian or Protestant after this? Am I supposed to be less Christian or Protestant after this? I mean,
I would guess their takeaway is more, but yeah, it's sort of a mixed bag.
What's the why of the entire movie, not just the plot? What's the
Christmas
why?
is about God. Duh, Noah. That's what all Christmas movies are about.
I suppose so, but it feels a little weird. All right, is that all the letterbox?
That's all I got.
Okay, join us in a few seconds when we talk about the 1996 reboot, retelling, whatever you want to call it, The Preacher's Wife, starring Denzel Washington. Hello and welcome back to our holiday special episode. whatever you want to call it. We are now talking about the 1996 film The Preacher's Wife, directed by Penny Marshall and written by Alan Scott. Big picture.
Um, you know, it's cool that they got a bunch of black people paid
True.
to make this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
um, that's about it
That's where your
for
positives
my
in.
yeah, for my whole take on this movie, because otherwise it's really just gonna be me shitting on artists, you know?
Yep.
But we're
Sadly,
gonna be
yeah.
doing that.
Yeah, big picture, not great. I don't know what was missing. Maybe it was in fact a cultural thing. But no, this is not a good movie in my opinion. Uh Honestly, not even that close to a good movie, you know? Like, you know, there are movies that's like, oh yeah, it could have been a good movie. I don't know if this one could have been. So let's just get to the specifics. Do you have any specific positives?
Besides what I just said, no. I mean,
I mean, come on.
clearly Denzel is
There you
like
go.
Denzel, but is that a positive? It's almost
Yes.
negative in this movie because it just
No.
makes the characters seem so much more um weirdly motivated and without a lack of like story structure. So despite him being good at cucking the the husband slash preacher, I don't understand why he's doing it. And
We
now I
hold
can't tell,
on.
is it Denzel Charm cucking him or is it just that's the way it's done?
I mean, we'll get into the motivation because we still didn't figure out what really was the motivation for the original movie. But yeah, Denzel's a positive because without it, you know how
You're
boring this
nothing.
movie would have been?
Yeah.
Just
I could have watched like
absolutely.
a YouTube playlist with Whitney Houston music videos and
Yeah,
gotten more out of it.
hey, we'll get to our negatives. Don't spoil our negatives yet. Uh Positives, I put Denzel one bullet point, Denzel second bullet point, Denzel third bullet point. So I think that kind of gets it across because as much as I like the preacher, the actor, the guy from the OJ Simpson show, I forget his name. He has, it's like a feminine name or something. I don't know. I forget his
Yeah,
name.
Courtney B. Vance.
Courtney, that's it. As much as I love him in his roles, I don't think he was doing anything outside of his wheelhouse in this movie. And then there's, you know what, it might stray into negatives, but there's the big elephant in the room, which is a certain singer who decided that she could act one day. But we'll
Well, the
get.
people forced her into movies to
Oh,
sing,
that
but
too,
again,
yeah.
we'll get there. We'll get
Yeah, we'll
there.
get there. I did enjoy the mom character. I thought she was funny. I've never known her name, but she's in so many things. Yeah, she was funny. She was a good character. She was kind of a nice
Jennifer
back.
Lewis.
Sure, I never knew her name. Jennifer Lewis does a great job. She's kind of a nice backdrop to kind of bounce off this weird just plot in general. So it's nice to just have this comfort of, oh, haha, funny, sassy mom. Great. You know, you can come back to this familiar kind of archetypical character that's gives a
Oh
comfort.
my god.
What?
I know how I know her.
Yeah. She's in a lot of things.
I know, but which one specifically? Because she did look familiar, and I was like, I've seen this lady before. She's the aunt in Fresh Prince.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Holy
Yeah,
smokes.
Fresh Prince is definitely how I know her specifically. Yeah, for sure. And then it's crazy that we're already at my last two positives, but we are. I will say I did like the costuming. I mean, Denzel's angel outfit was fly as hell. I love that monochrome kind of silky gray look with the awesome gray gloves. I mean, just looked dope. Everyone else's outfits, especially like the churchgoers and the choir and all that, awesome. So, got to give it to the costuming. And I did enjoy, actually, from a filmmaking perspective, there's actually one very specific thing. I enjoyed the actual amount of colors this movie had. Whether it was just kind of the lively, bright colors that people wear to church, or the coats that the preacher always seemed to have on, during the sermon, or what's what's kind of that it's not a shawl, but that
Like a
ribbon that
vestment
goes
thing.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whether it's that or the colors of just the outside. I mean, it seemed like everything was kind of this rainbow of colors, which was, fun to look at, but it doesn't it can't carry a movie that way. So I will point those out as positives, but that is all of my positives.
I
So
think
do you
it's
have any?
no, never mind. Hold on. I was trying to figure out what this is called. I think it's called a chasuble.
That's the big ribbon thingy,
Yeah, like the
scarf.
colorful thing that goes over the white and or black drape.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, but the movie had a lot of color, and so visually it was okay. The direction wasn't anything crazy, but visually, just looking scene to scene, it did look nice, and that's it. So negatives.
Yeah. Problem number one, the one that we could spend probably the most time talking about if I had to guess, but we alluded to it not once, not twice, but I think 3 times. Why the Whitney Houston of it all? Why the musical of it all? Like,
I
she's not an actress. She's not that good of a singer that we need her in a movie singing as a main character that doesn't have anything to do with singing.
Yeah, wait, hold on. I wouldn't say she's not that good of a singer to do this because she specifically is, but it doesn't mean a movie needs that at all in any way,
Well,
shape, or form.
yeah, I mean, I guess when I think not that good of a singer to do this, I just mean there is no such thing as a good enough singer to force a singer into a role
I think
and make that a singing role.
you should add that context when you say that. Though. Just say it. Just say it.
I
Yeah.
mean, she's not that good of a singer either, but that's my
Okay,
own music
calm
take. We don't have to
down.
get into that
That's
this
not
movie,
even.
but
I think you are objectively wrong there. Just straight out objectively, but we won't.
well, when I say singer, I'm saying something different than vocalist. But again, we don't need to go into these semantic arguments about these stupid takes I
You're
have.
saying these takes, okay? Not me. You're the one putting it out in this world,
Yeah, but you
knowing
can just
full
hear
well.
the take. It's not a fact.
Yeah, but you're knowing full well what you're doing, okay? Okay.
Yeah, I'm baiting you.
Uh-huh.
You're taking it.
Yeah. So I think this movie has a lot of why. Why does this angel care? Why does this God care about the preacher? Why is this angel trying to cuck the husband? Especially because the wife character really isn't painted as this kind of holy saint that she was in the original. Why are we doing anything in this movie? Like, it just, just from a basic plot perspective, why is this guy trying to destroy a church so that he can build a bigger church when couldn't he have just built the bigger church on the church there is? Doesn't matter. Why is Whitney Houston singing 4 times in this movie for extended amount of
Five.
times?
5.
Doesn't matter. Extended amount of times. I mean, more than once was enough. 1 time, okay, let's move past it. 2 times, all right, guys, I get it. She can sing. Anything past that, stop. Quit. Don't do it. It's not a musical. Yeah, there are all these lingering questions of why. And it's just the entire movie, even while the credits are rolling, you're still asking yourself, what? Huh? Why am I watching this? Why did this happen? Why are there so many fat jokes? Why are there so many side characters that really don't matter, like the bus driver, who's all the fat jokes are about, or the baby mama with the multiple kids? Like, why do we care about this side story? It's not as though it added any layers to the plot. It's just there, which circles back to why. I think we could encapsulate this whole movie into a why.
Yeah, the big why. Like, I'd almost, and I didn't pre-read this one, this one's wiki page, but was this like actually a Hallmark movie? Like, that's the only thing that would make this make sense to me.
No way.
Because, like, to pick, of all the movies to pick in the world to remake,
Mhm.
or again, to like you know, make a black remake of, or to,
Right.
try to tell black stories in the same vein as whatever the other story had been. Like,
Hmm.
I just don't understand this as a vehicle for that, as a choice. And like, there's so many other like regular old Christmas stories, even if you just wanted to do a Christmas story, right? Like, it just it doesn't even make sense why this was chosen as the vehicle. And then to do it, not only what I would call like dishonestly, because we'll get there, but I don't know that this one's better. Um, it just felt weird and forced, and all the points we made about all the problems with it so far. But yeah,
I
Whitney
also
Houston, problem number one.
I want to piggyback on what you just said. Why this story of all stories? Because this movie, or sorry, the original, The Bishop's Wife, like you said last or in the first segment, it didn't make a ton of money. So not only is it not bad enough, the original wasn't bad enough to just fix, nor was it good enough to just remake every shot. Also, it didn't make money, or at least until they repurposed it or whatever and did Carrie and the Bishop's Wife and all that. So there are three things going against this, yet they still chose to do it. Like, I'm thinking you could have done a black version of It's a Wonderful Life. That would have been, or Miracle on 34th Street, or, whatever you want. But instead, they chose The Bishop's Wife, which wasn't, it didn't sell gangbusters. It didn't knock us off our asses or anything like that. So it's just, again, why? Why?
Why?
I will go on to say the preacher or the bishop, whatever, because, the correlation or the mirror character, the preacher sucked harder in this one. So I was
Yeah.
just constantly wanting Denzel to take the woman away. Like, just go live your angel life. Boom, great. Happy
Yeah,
ending.
like this version of everyone basically just wants you to have the hot people hook up. Like, that's it.
Yeah, and again, I don't know why. I don't know why that's a motivation
Because they
for.
cast two of the most like attractive people in that era,
No, no, no.
man.
I'm just, why did they do it?
Yeah, because again, they force someone into a role for no reason. There's no reason, man.
Yeah,
There is
but
no why.
John and I actually watched this one together this time, and during it, there are just scenes where she gets to go off with Denzel, and I was saying that's just straight up cheating. I don't care who you are. If you look like Whitney Houston and your friend looks like Denzel Washington, you're cheating.
Yeah, yeah. Those two people are not allowed to be on their own together.
Yeah,
We
it's
know
just
what's going to happen, even if
yeah.
it's, the 15th visit together or the 15,000th visit together. It's inevitable.
Yep.
Okay.
There's a beauty scale that you have to cheating or not cheating. This is cheating. But
Hmm.
whatever, because again, the preacher sucked. Whether it was him being just sexist or him literally shushing his wife's mouth with his hand. What a fucking move that is. I'm still kind of racking my head around that. How am I supposed to sympathize with a guy who his wife has this, calmly demeanor? She's got this kind of zen vibe, and she's trying to bring up a question, and he goes, nope, hand out on your mouth, shut up, lady. how, how, not, maybe not how am I supposed to sympathize? Why am I supposed to sympathize? Why does this, you know, to put a lack of a better word, this jagoff. Why would I care about this guy and his church? Who cares? I also having her sing yada yada. Oh, Hans Zimmer. Maybe the only time he will ever be a negative on a movie review sheet, but his music was so almost over the top.
Yeah, terribly done. I can say it.
It was distracting, and that's the worst thing you can say about a score in a movie. Just the absolute worst. Distracting. You could say it didn't fit, yada yada. No, it was distracting because these songs came off as if it was like the end of Home Alone, where the climax of reuniting with the family, but you had this music while they're just walking down the street or just doing the ice skating. And it's just, oh man, Hans Zimmer. That man is
Yeah.
super talented, so it doesn't matter what I say, but goddamn, this was a miss.
Right. Well, and part of it too, like, I mean, for sure, the score is bad. There isn't a single song that goes with any of the things. Like,
Nope.
that's just like what is bad about the scoring. Separately, and a point we've made, at least on old episodes, I can't recall if since season 2 or not, but when you have to bring up as a point whether or not like the sound editing was good or the audio levels or the timing of sound with visual, like if you bring that up at all, it is either because it's so exceptionally, insanely well done that
Yep.
you have to comment on it,
Mm-hmm.
or it's bad to fucking god awful. But
Yep.
at no point is it like unremarkable, because when it's unremarkable in this particular genre, you just don't remark on it truly.
Yeah.
And so in
Or
this case, it's just in that horrible, horrible lane. And again, you do the juxtaposition of his other works like fucking Gladiator,
every Nolan
Kung Fu
film.
Panda, like Sherlock Holmes,
Yep.
stuff that you just can feel in your heart, the good music
Mm-hmm.
behind it. And then you
Mm-hmm.
see this thing. Sorry, go ahead.
No. You're totally right. I think you're right. I guess every artist has to learn, has to kind of get in their own zone before they become what they are. But yeah, it's a misstep. And like you were saying, I mean, the most, if a score or audio is serviceable, the most I will do is give it a light positive point, and that's it. But yeah, the second it's distracting or detracts from the actual movie, that's just, it might be the biggest musical sin in a movie. I mean, there's nothing worse you can say about it. Just
Right. And like,
absolutely.
and maybe it's a finer line than we think it is,
It might be. Yeah.
but and I mean like in terms of like the difficulty of that work, like to be so perfectly unnoticed, and
Oh
build
yeah.
the story and aid in it without, yeah, I'm sure like it's very, very difficult work.
Yeah, for sure.
But when you fuck it up, it truly ruins the movie. Like
Yep.
there are so many scenes I can imagine, like where I've watched something, you're watching that big, reveal of the bad guy, let's just say, and you have some, whatever, gentle orchestral swelling that implies some type of, negative or ominous thing.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. Unremarkable. I don't get sucked out of the movie. But then all of a sudden you hear like, a fucking recorder toot or like a harmonica during that scene. You're like, what the fuck did I just hear? Like, why am I hearing that sound right now? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And someone had to like intentionally think to put that in there.
Mm-hmm.
Just imagine that every scene of this movie. Like, at no point are you not reminded that there is just bad music in the background. Like, it could have just been Darude Sandstorm the whole time, and it would have been equivalently bad.
Well, to build off of that, I think this is the most damning thing possible. Not only is it distracting, but I think it would have literally been better without music.
Right. Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
that
The
says it
presence of
all.
music made the film a worse film.
Yep. So sorry, Zimmerman. That's what we call him. Too bad.
I had a I had a problem 1B, by the way. I'm just gonna tie it in with Whitney Houston.
Sure.
But freaking Lionel Richie.
Oh shit! I forgot to mention him.
Why?
Yeah. Lionel Richie
Yeah.
makes a
Why?
pointless cameo just to give Lionel Richie money.
But he has like 2 scenes. Like, if you're gonna do a pointless cameo, why is he in 2 different locations? Like,
Also,
ay, ay, ay.
if you're gonna get somebody, at least have a reason to, because at the end he just kind of played the piano. I mean, I get that's what Lionel Richie does, but
They're friends, dude. They're friends.
yeah, but again, why not showcase the guy you paid way too much money for? It's just, if you're gonna spend all that time and money and that effort on something useless, make it useful. But this movie still didn't even do that. So again, just so many problems with this movie. My next negative is in direct comparison to The Bishop's Wife, and I think you know what it is. No secular professor character really
Yeah.
took out all the acknowledging of other, worlds outside of, Protestant Christianity world. Without that character, nothing was grounded. So it was just constant bashing a message over your face over and over and over again about how be godly, not being godly is bad. And that's literally just, there's nothing to counteract any of the kind of soapboxy, I'ma look down on you, kind of the Bill Cosby voice, if you will. There's nothing to bounce back off that. It's constant, just kind of browbeating. Oh, the rich guy wants to get richer, and then Courtney B. Vance makes a joke about how he actually cares about white people, and it's just, there's nothing to counteract this, so it's just cheesy. Might just be the best way to put it, just cheesy,
Yeah.
because there's no other human element besides the actual message, which doesn't really make it human. And there's no element of humanity when it's just a message. It feels more propaganda than anything, which the original
Right.
did, but did it well.
Right. Well, and I will agree, on like the driving problems without that character. I maybe disagree only slightly that there aren't non-religious things. Like for instance, the kid who was next to the gun, like that whole little side storyline, or like their friend across the street, or their child's friend across the street, who like for whatever reason the old granny can't keep him. I can't remember why they can't keep him,
She's
but
just too old.
whatever. Right. So the like those things technically, in theory, ground it in the real world. But the problem with those are those are now side quests for God to help them with.
Exactly.
And that's where the problem is. Like they are still grounded in this idea that like these are human beings and they're trying to help each other. But then they fuck those up by making it a journey for God to go tackle. Like the secular dude, the professor, was not a challenge for God to overcome in the first movie. The
Right.
dude, by again, very, very subtle influences and mostly alcohol,
Right.
got tricked sort of into going to church, not like a, you know, oh well, this magical thing happened to me and now I must believe.
Yeah, well, yeah, like you're saying, I think the key is that I can watch something from both sides and still enjoy it. The original, even if I'm this super atheist, hate religion, whatever, I can still relate to the professor. I can then almost even relate to his bumbling ways of going back to church, because it's like, well, yeah, he saw an angel and he's drunk. Of course he's going to church. I can still enjoy it. And then as a Protestant or whatever, I can enjoy the original and say, okay, this is religious kind of propaganda, but decent. And enjoy it. This one, there's none of that. It's just, if I'm not a Christian, none of this affects me in any way, shape, or form. There's
Yeah.
just, there's no outside perspective. I think that's what I'm trying to get at. They're grounded,
True, true.
sure, but there's nothing outside of them. And
Yep.
again, it's
Yep.
just a job for God to fix. that's
Yeah.
that's it. That's all I got though.
No way, dude. You missed out a humongous one.
Which one?
Why is the story's narrator the child?
Oh, well, that one was just so stupid. I forgot to write it down. You
Yeah,
see,
it's
checkmate.
terrible. It's terrible. There's like 8 times that this little kid is doing baby talk voice explaining the purpose of the angel. And again, like any narrator or wall of text intro or outro, I can't have it be that we are forced to listen to a person rather than see the story or have a
Right.
dialogue. Like to have someone describe to me what could just be shown to me is so stupid.
Totally agree. I'll even specifically bash this one because all he is doing is literally stating the things that are happen. He's not really, it's not even the kid's interpretation. He's just saying, and then an angel showed up and nobody believed me and all that stuff. And you're just thinking, well, yeah, if an angel showed up, nobody would believe you. Yeah, you're totally
Right.
right.
And
You
again, it's
know?
a movie, so like easier to just do a flash montage of him trying to remind them about him and them not believing him, you know? Like why do that?
Also,
Or
I
even
don't.
better, just do it at the end. Like don't have us know that at the beginning. We don't
Mhm.
need the overarching, clearly in the future Dudley goes away thing. And then at the end we just see Dudley go away and they all forget except for the kid and the kid's like, "Mommy, mommy, you don't remember him?" Because they did it anyway. They did that. That's
Agreed.
what's crazy.
I will also even, on your side, of course, argue with you to say that nowhere in this universe or lore was it established that kids don't forget, other than the kid just saying he remembers. You know? So like
Right.
why would the kid remember? Does the other kid remember? Cuz he was like or the parents said Dudley who. So do the two kids remember and they just grow up to remember angels? Is that, does it stop at like age 18? Oh, you can't remember angels anymore.
It's
Is
like
it
a
Polar
mixed Santa
Express?
thing. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Polar Express.
That's what I'm
Like
saying.
you'll
So
start losing your faith
yeah,
or whatever.
yeah. So it never established that other than the fact that the kid just said he remembered it. Denzel, I don't think ever mentioned anything about children remembering. He just said you're gonna forget, and yet we're just supposed to believe that this kid is gonna be making up this hallucination his entire life. You know, just the implication is weird. He's just
Also, you know what
yeah.
I thought of
Hmm.
here? Well, twofold, I guess. One, the fact that it's the preacher's wife or the bishop's wife, either.
Hmm.
Not only does it imply like the wife's importance, right, or convey the wife's importance, not doesn't imply it, it literally states it,
Hmm.
um, but that it makes the religions true in the universe. And this is my first time thinking about how like exclusionary that thought is, that like if there were to be angels,
Hmm.
that these fucks happen to be the only idiots praying to the right,
Right.
version of this shit.
Hmm.
Like that just then just triggered me. That's all. I did that piece that of my usual sort of anti-theism didn't click.
Yeah, well, I want the sequel where Denzel comes down and goes to like synagogues and other places and goes, "You're wrong. You're going to hell." Just goes to every other religion. You're wrong. I'm an angel. I know. Okay, the Christians got it right. Just also when angels are real, what's the point of conversion? Just a random question. Because if the angels are real, it's not as though you'd be converting to this kind of belief system. It's you'd be converting to factual logistical evidence. So I don't think like would the belief in God matter if everyone could see God, you know?
Exactly. And then all these tenets go away
Yeah,
because
so
they're all about belief.
so the moral of the story turns into nothing because the angel is in fact real. So,
Right. You actually have to see to believe.
right. Right. So, so I
Yeah, it's
really
pretty good.
don't get this. Also those angels probably should have, talked to the Native Americans and, Central Americans and all that, or just let them go to hell. I don't know. I don't know. Moral choice, I
Right.
guess.
Well, or how about we don't help people who are clearly like sheltered with an occupation, and just because their church is struggling, we help them? Like, surely there are bigger fish to fry in the angels world. But of course, this is a religious argument, not of this movie's argument. But just of all the plot lines to pick, again, why this one to retell the story about finding God?
Still
Um,
very funny.
I don't have any major negatives left, but I do have my et ceteras.
I only had one etc. and it was am I black enough?
Yeah, nice. No is the answer. And two, um, I'm just gonna read my notes
Go for it.
aloud because they're all like half notes.
Hmm.
Um, Denzel's gonna carry the shit out of this as the intro track comes in.
Nailed
Did
it.
not. did not last, but is semi true because unfortunately he didn't carry it because it still sucked, but he was great. And he was
To
the only thing that maybe not press pause.
to be fair, I don't know how many movies you couldn't say that about other than Gladiator 2.
True. Yeah, that sucked. That sucked with Denzel. um, and that might be his worst role as a side note, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then I wrote milking Whitney Houston again,
Milk.
succinct.
Mm-hmm.
Negative that I don't care to say other than reading this. Way too many cheap laughs from Granny. Like you mentioned, she was funny. I agree, there were
Yeah.
funny things she said, but way too many cheap laughs. Like way too many. Oh, that's gonna appeal to the grannies in the audience. Like
Yeah, but
why?
I've kind of got that like, oh, I think I know this woman vibe. You know, I think it gave it a nice, almost comfort character.
Um, and then just one small aside again. Dudley says I'm an angel like in the Bible. And I thought, dude, if you were a biblical angel, you wouldn't be fucking Denzel Washington. You'd be this like hellish creature with these disgusting things. Like you can't say shit like that in a Christian movie where people actually read the text because that's not what angels look like. You look like a fucking
Well,
demigorgon.
actually, I hate to be that guy. I really do. But I think it was Lot in either Sodom or Gomorrah. I think it was Sodom. There were two angels that stopped by, and I think it's described that they basically just looked like hot dudes. So, technically
No,
speaking, I do think there are angels that are just kind of hot dudes.
I don't think that's right.
I think it's when Lot and his family are being threatened by the citizens of Sodom, and the people come in and they want to take Lot's daughters away. Angels come down and be like, "Yo, stop!" Pretty sure they're described as just two dudes.
Can you
So
find that passage while I read you the direct ones I was pulling up?
no, I mean I understand. There's like the 100-eye angel, the angel with a lion face, a human face, a
Right.
deer face.
Okay.
I
All right.
get
So just so we're
those.
clear, yeah, okay. Because those
I'm
are the
not
only ones
saying
I've ever
those
heard.
don't
I've never heard this
exist.
one specifically, and again, I did not read the Bible to know
Well,
or fact check
also,
you.
angel came down to Mary. I doubt he was a four-headed freak.
But they don't describe him. They just say an angel. I'm saying
Right.
when they describe an angel,
Uh-huh.
I don't think they say. And again, maybe they do. You'll have to find the text to really argue with me on this one because I don't actually care. It just was a small aside, but
Right.
they I don't think say a man came down with wings or whatever, they just say like an angel came down. And we put the human image on it. But when they
Yeah.
do describe angels, it's that 100-eyed fuck
Well, yeah,
or
sure.
the one with the lion face.
Yeah.
So like sure, we can say maybe some of them are men and some of them are these weird things, but the only description that describes the image of an angel is this glassy-eyed monstrosity thing.
True, but also counterpoint, I don't think it physically describes any of the disciples, yet we just kind of assume they're just normal dudes. You know?
True.
So, just saying.
Um, Half the meals in this movie were cereal, toast, and OJ.
I still don't know what that breakfast meal was. That didn't look like cereal.
I'm pretty sure it was cereal because then the kids were eating cereal right
The kids were
afterwards. But
definitely
the
eating
dude was
cereal.
the dude was eating cereal with toast and orange juice, and I just thought this ain't a good look.
Why? I mean, it's not a good
Is that
breakfast.
what people really eat?
Yes. Do you know America or the Western world or yeah, what?
I'm just saying, like educated people with like
Bro,
more
even
than
educated people have shitty breakfasts.
middle class. It was every meal. They had dinners.
Uh-huh. But that's back in the 90s when you could just kind of eat and not a lot of people were fat.
Oh, you hit my last point.
See?
I
Yeah.
Why do they hate fat people?
Because it was the 90s when you could eat a lot and a lot of people still weren't fat. And then nowadays that's changed. Everyone's fat now.
Crazy work. That was all my etc.
Okay. Letterboxd?
No,
Wiki?
quick wiki.
I just say Letterboxd
Um,
first.
So there was a huge amount of production shit with this. It is not worth repeating here, but basically, the role of Julia was written with Whitney Houston in mind. Denzel said initially he wanted Julia Roberts and then turned to Whitney
Whoa.
Houston.
Julia Roberts. That would have been a whole different movie.
And Houston was very reluctant to even accept
Smart.
because she didn't feel like she could do justice to her role, which basically was a dowdy housewife.
So Whitney Houston knew her abilities, but got conned into it by managers and shit.
Pretty much. And
Great.
then, even better, she was paid $10 million to appear in this movie. 1996.
Uh-huh.
It made her the highest paid black actress at the time.
I mean,
Third highest paid film actress of the year.
10 million is a lot of money for one paycheck. For what, 6 months of your life?
That dude, there's no way this was 6 months shooting. I mean, I'm
just,
sure it's
I mean,
here in
not,
the production list. I'm just
not a full 6 months, just a 6 month period.
No. Filming occurred from March 11th to April 3rd.
What?
She made $10 million.
April
in
3rd,
like 2
the same
weeks.
year?
Yes.
That almost sounds unbelievable.
Oh, that's awesome.
Less than a month? Is that what you said?
I mean, that's what's written here. I don't know what to tell you.
I believe that is the number and things you're reading. I just cannot believe that's factual.
Oh. No, sorry. That was at one particular church. Okay. January 96 through the beginning of May. Excuse me. So again, probably not all her scenes that whole time, but there we go. That's like 5 months. So you're close.
Press tour, promo tour. I'm just saying not 6 months total, just 6 months of time in her life. A gap, you know.
The film made $56 million, but no recorded budget. Actually, that's not true. $60 million budget.
Oh,
with another $15 million in marketing.
Yikes!
So $75 million, 10 of which went straight to Whitney Houston.
Yikes!
And they only made 56 back. But guess what? It won, or excuse me, guess what? It was nominated an Academy Award for. Only one Academy Award nom. Just guess.
Costuming?
Nope.
What? Best original music.
Yes.
Yes.
Best original score. Hans Zimmer. What the fuck?
Maybe they were kind of winking to the Whitney Houston songs, you know? Or is it literally
best album,
just Hans Zimmer?
It's Hans Zimmer's the nominee. That's
it. That's crazy work.
Yeah, like at the NAACP Awards, Whitney Houston got actress and music.
That's crazy work. Also, that's kind of crazy work too. Academy Awards,
Hans Zimmer. Well, it's the NAACP Awards, so it's like a different group of people.
All I'm saying is that there really weren't any other better black movies.
Actresses?
Yeah.
No.
That's all I'm saying is it's a separate version of crazy work, you know?
Right, but it's also Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
So you have to factor the Whitney Houston into it too.
Yeah, 10 million. All right.
Yeah, so that's the wiki I care to read. But fuck me. And there's way too much for this wiki. Like for a movie that's shit and doesn't deserve this size wiki.
So what I'm getting is that black contemporary audiences at the time, I guess, they didn't care for it either. Is that what I'm gathering? Just because it didn't make money?
Like, yeah, well, and also who wants like a pandering Christmas movie with like not that many good jokes and like no moral?
Well, you know, I'm just saying, like from a outside my culture kind of thing, like Heartbreak Kid. It seems like Jewish men of that age really loved that movie, so it's weird to kind of come to this where it's like, wait, is this not for me? But at the same time, did the culture it's built for not like it? Well? Yeah.
I mean, yeah, and it could have been. Again, I don't know what other Christmas movies came out that year. I don't know what the movie market was like. I can't remember, but I think we were on a looming recession because of end of Bush, maybe, or Clinton era.
Still, I think 96 had some bangers in there somewhere.
Well, I'm sure was this that?
No,
Is that
oh
where you
no.
want to spend your hard-earned money? you know? Especially
True,
during Christmas time when you're already buying gifts and shit. Like you spend another $20 to take your family to the movies to watch a Mids movie.
true.
Anyway, so that's that. Some letterboxes. This is a half star from Swoosey Curtis. Board tier list. Penny Marshall's Christmas Christmas Hallmark Hall of Fame feature is such a waste of great talent. Agreed. Upvote.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. The whole Whitney Houston thing, I don't know if she was wasted per se, but yeah, the other actors.
I mean, she's wasted in the sense that this is a shit movie and she didn't need to be in it.
True.
That's a waste of her talents. I mean, she's a talented person. She shouldn't not be in stuff. I just don't know that she needs to be in movies where she's a fucking lead actress.
Yeah, she doesn't.
Bradley Cruft, 1 star. All I could think about was how I wished I was watching Trolls instead. Eesh.
I don't know. That seems a little
a little too hard.
Yeah,
too hard
I mean, not even hard. Just, I don't know. It seems a little memey.
Patrick Walsh, 2 stars. Cucked by an Angel, and yep, that's the name of our episode, pretty much.
That really should be the title of the movie.
Kevin Porter, 3 stars. I'm not married, but only because I'm afraid a hot angel's going to try and fuck my wife. And he put in parentheses at the beginning, defensive voice.
Not bad.
The last of which is a 5-star review from Mary Sorosky, which says, gestures to Whitney Houston belting out, I believe in you and me, accompanied by Lionel Richie, while Denzel Washington looks on with all the love in the universe in his eyes. Yeah, can you inject this straight into my veins? So is this what people liked? They didn't care about the movie at all. They just wanted to see Denzel and Whitney Houston play a Will They Won't They?
Yeah, they wanted.
If that's why people like this movie, sure. But like that isn't what this movie's about, and that
Not
happened, I think, coincidentally.
Yeah.
So.
And again, I think it's even reinforced by The Bishop's Wife. Again, all the audiences wanted to see is the angel bang the wife. So again, why? Even the reboot has the same issue. Why? Is that it?
That was it.
All right. That has been our...
Wait.
Whoa, what?
We didn't say deboot or reboot, bitch.
I think people can judge it from the tone, but you're right. Definite deboot. No argument.
Fucking boot.
Okay, you're right. You're right. I forgot to say that. You're right. But that has been our super holiday Star Wars special, episode 15. Join us.
Quote unquote super. Quote unquote super.
Quote unquote Star Wars. Join us next time in 2 weeks when we do our originally planned movies of the 1974 film Going Places and its Big Lebowski reboot sequel, The Jesus Rolls. Until then, we are out of here.
Peace.